All right, I want to call to order the monthly beer meeting for the city of Shelbyville. This is the April 9th, 2025 beer meeting. Ms. Lisa will call.
Chairman Fisher,
Here.
Member Shaquin, Member Cannon,
Here.
Member Turner,
Here.
and Member LaMattina.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, you do have a quorum, 4 members present, 1 absent.
All right, first I need an approval of the agenda.
Motion.
Second. I actually want to make a change to the agenda.
Sorry, make a change.
I would like to move the new business, the run of old business, move number 7 to 6. I have a motion for that.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have any public comments?
So, yeah, Jill, there was a fast lady.
We did.
No, nobody would like to make any public comments prior to the meeting starting? No? Okay.
Next, approval of the minutes from the March 12th, 2025 meeting. Motion.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, first, we're gonna do, new business, consideration of an application to sell beer on premises by Teresa Cruz. Happy Times located at 1014 Madison Street, Shelbyville, Tennessee, 37160.
Ms. Cruz? Yeah, if you'll come to the podium here. And if you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me, and do you state your full name for the board, please? Do you not speak English?
Can I help a little bit?
Yes.
This is gonna be-
I'll have to swear you in also, but you can come up here and as you're swearing, I want both of you to state your name, please.
Sorry, second.
State your name
Orlin, Miss Orlin.
and state your name.
Teresa.
Okay. I'm going to say it to you and then you repeat it to her, but you're swearing to it also, okay? That the testimony that you're about to give before this beer board will be true to the best of your knowledge, understanding, and belief.
Sorry, I'm so nervous I can't translate that.
Está diciendo, lo que está diciendo es que lo que está diciendo lo que es de su.
Stop, please.
Okay.
Stop. Swear in
He
first.
Ginger, he said he cannot translate what I said.
You can help with
So
that?
this gentleman here,
Can he help with that?
We have to have someone who is willing to stand up and serve as her translator. They will have to be sworn in.
are you willing to do that? Okay, if you'll. Hang on just a second,
Right.
okay? Teresa Cruz, right? That's your name?
Su nombre es Teresa Cruz.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and your name?
Alejandro.
I'm sorry,
Alejandro. Or Alex, I mean,
your last name?
Gerstein.
Okay, I'm gonna swear you in first. Raise your hand, please. Do you swear that you will translate for Ms. Cruz here honestly, completely what we say to her, what she says back to us before this board?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And now, Ms. Cruz, if you'll translate, do you swear that the testimony you're about to give before this beer board will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Que sea la verdad y la verdad de todo lo que le van a decir, lo que va a contestar también que sea la verdad. Sí.
All right. I'm gonna ask her some questions and you just need her to answer.
No necesita contestar, okay.
Have you received and reviewed a copy of the beer?
Usted recibió un recibo, una copia de lo que estaba de la del permiso de cerveza. Yes.
Do you understand the rules of which you have read?
¿Usted entiende las reglas de lo que ha leído?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you have any questions of any of the rules listed?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta sobre las reglas que están allí? ¿O algunas reglas?
No.
No.
Have you received a copy of the ordinance?
Recibí una copia de todas las reglas. Yes.
Do you have any questions regarding the ordinance?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta sobre esas reglas?
Have you ever held a beer permit before in Shelbyville or any other jurisdiction?
¿Usted ha pedido algún permiso aquí en el condado de Shelbyville o en alguna otra parte de cerveza?
Solo aquí en Chile.
Only here in Shelbyville. ¿Pero nunca lo ha pedido?
No.
There's no.
Does she currently have one in Shelbyville, or this is the first she
Este es
ever?
el primero. This is the first
This is
one.
the first, so she doesn't have one?
No.
Okay.
Drinking la pregunta.
Please describe your experience, if any, with beer sales.
Describa su experiencia con algo que tiene que ver con lo de la cerveza, vendiendo cerveza. Para vender cerveza. ¿Tiene experiencia?
No,
¿No tiene experiencia?
no,
Vendiendo cerveza no tiene experiencia.
no.
She doesn't have no experience selling beer.
Okay, she's never been a waitress, never worked in
Nunca
a
ha sido
store.
mesera o ha trabajado en una tienda vendiendo cerveza.
Do you understand that underage sale of alcohol to minors is a violation of the law?
Usted entiende que vender cerveza a menores de edad está violando la ley sobre la ley de alcohol.
Sí.
Yes.
Briefly describe your business establishment.
En pocas palabras, describa su negocio que va a poner.
Sería vender alcohol para la familia, o sea, sería solo prácticamente yo estaría encargada de vender alcohol.
She was going to be only selling the alcohol to la familia.
Sí, o sea, solo para mi negocio, solo
Only-
sería en el negocio y solo sería yo.
Only sell the alcohol on her business, and only to the family.
Okay, what kind of business? Like
¿Qué tipo de negocio es?
Restaurante.
Restaurant.
restaurant? Okay. Do you have any questions for the beer board?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta para el comité del departamento de la cerveza? No.
Does the cash register software or system require the birth date for all beers?
Si la caja registradora que van a tener tiene que registrarle cuando le va a vender cerveza, le pide el año de nacimiento de la persona que va a comprar cerveza.
Tengo que pedir la identificación de cada persona.
Pero la registradora no se lo pide.
Sí.
¿Sí?
Mm.
Yes.
Good.
And she also mentioned that she's going to ask for the ID. That's what she was saying.
Are you the property owner for the location in which beer sales will take place?
Usted es dueña de la localidad, del local donde va a vender ese negocio, donde va a tener ese negocio.
De local lo estoy rentando, pero el negocio va a ser mío.
She's renting the property.
Okay, does not own it?
No.
Okay. Do you as the applicant or agent realize that you're responsible as the beer permit holder for all employees' beer sales? Ultimately, she's responsible.
Usted va a ser responsable y usted sabe que usted va a ser responsable de todas las ventas de alcohol que se cometan allí. Usted va a ser responsable por todas las personas que vendan ahí el alcohol a otras personas. ¿Usted sabe eso? Yes.
Questions?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask the board to, I would suggest that you clarify what her statement back that she would only sell on the premises at the restaurant, but only to her family. Is she opening a public restaurant? Or is this a private club?
Ella lo que está preguntando es, a lo que hizo usted el comentario es de que usted dijo que iba a venderle nada más a la familia. La pregunta es, ¿está viendo un restaurante al público o a la familia?
No, me expliqué mal. Es al público, pero prácticamente solo vendería yo el alcohol.
Okay, she made a mistake. That's what she answered. And but she's going to be the only one selling to the public, not only to the family.
So it's a public restaurant?
Yes.
Make sure.
How many tables would you have?
¿Cuántas mesas va a tener usted?
Son 125.
¿Mesas?
Sí,
38.
38.
38 tables.
38 tables.
Mesas. O sea, 138 personas. 138.
And what will your business hours be?
¿Cuáles son sus horas de negocio que va a tener?
Serían de 10 a... Los días de semana serían de 10 a 9
During the week is going to be from 10 to 9.
y los días de semana, viernes y sábado, serían de 10 a 11.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. From
No,
the,
solo sería viernes y sábado.
oh, Friday and Saturday
Serían de 10 a 11.
from 10 to 11. El domingo está cerrado.
No está abierto.
How many employees?
¿Cuántos empleados?
No sé exactamente cuándo está abierto, pero
She doesn't know yet.
bueno, ¿sabes?
She doesn't know yet. So she haven't opened it.
What type of food?
¿Qué tipo de comida va a vender?
Es comida americana, son costillas,
American and
hamburguesas, pastas.
ribs, pastas, hamburgers, wings.
Yeah.
Wings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw some omissions on the application that we did need to get corrected.
En la aplicación.
So I'm going to address the board as well. On number 2 of the application, we are missing the address for
En la
the
aplicación.
contact information for the applicant.
Están mirando que falta la dirección del aplicante. Dirección. You said the address
The address
on the number 2, right?
For the applicant, number 2.
En la aplicación faltó la dirección.
Same on number 6, we need the addresses listed as well.
En el número 6 también le faltó ponerle la dirección.
On number 7, will you conduct the business in person or are you acting as an agent for another? The answer was just Y, just the letter Y. So
En el número 7 le está preguntando que si usted va a estar conduciendo el negocio o está conduciendo el negocio con otra persona.
Lo estoy conduciendo con mi esposo.
Now, Daisy's going to be conducting the business, her and the husband.
yeah, we'll need to get that corrected as well. And then I didn't see any consent letter in the lease or anything attached to allow
No
beer
tuvo
sales.
una carta donde el dueño de la localidad le dio permiso para vender cerveza. ¿No tiene una carta de esas?
No.
She doesn't have them.
So we'll need that as well.
Necesita una carta donde el dueño de la localidad le está dando permiso en su localidad para vender cerveza.
Okay.
And there was one more thing. Number 15 asks you to provide a certificate or statement from the health department or health officer that
El
the
número
premises
15,
covers the requirements of section 8-223. You have a statement from the health department. I can
Yeah.
see that up there as well.
en el número 15, sí, you got it. Dice que en el número 15 tiene el statement del Health Department. Si lo tienen, de
I didn't
seguridad,
see
sí,
it.
sí lo sometieron.
Sí, sí,
Sí. They did submit it.
Okay. That's all I have.
So are you wanting them to make those changes now with that?
Yeah, we can go ahead and edit the changes now for the application. But I think they would need to bring in we don't have
The
the
lease consent
lease
letter.
consents and
El
the,
contrato donde tiene el contrato es donde tiene el permiso
If it's not a
if it's not a
packet.
packet.
del dueño para vender. Es lo que necesito. No lo tienen, ¿verdad?
It was,
Yeah, the lease, it was just section 1, I said to be used as a restaurant, but it's
Sí,
same thing about alcohol.
le dan un permiso, le dan el contrato y le dan el permiso también para donde aceptan que usted está vendiendo alcohol. Es lo que necesito. Es eso.
Only with the health.
Yeah.
I don't think we do. So I think, Mr. Chairman, you're likely gonna have to vote on it to get her, she can go ahead and make those changes now or come up later, but she needs to sign off on the changes on her application. Those two other things need to
Los
be
cambios que están diciendo,
submitted
puede firmar.
truly prior to your meeting, in time for it to get sent out to you, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry.
Yeah. We're going to defer. We didn't motion that, right?
Yeah, so,
Motion's deferred till next month. That's
A second.
all in favor.
Aye.
We're going to defer it until next month,
Lo van a estar estudiando hasta el siguiente mes.
and you'll need to get, if you have the health certificate, bring it. You may have already submitted it, but we just don't.
Si ya tiene el
have it
permiso
here.
del protocolo, si ya lo sometió, bueno, entonces no lo tiene que volver a traer.
Also, we will need something from the owner of the property stating
Lo que le está
they're
diciendo.
okay with selling alcohol there.
Entonces tiene el permiso de la persona que le está
It doesn't be
rentando.
complicated, it can just be
Yeah.
a statement
One
that says,
sentence.
I acknowledge. and
Tiene que ser algo
that they'll be
sencillo,
selling
tiene que ser algo formal, más que yo estoy aprobando que sí vendan ahí.
And the last thing, the changes to the application, you can, you can come back up to City Hall anytime and see Miss Lisa, and she'll let you make those changes to the
Los
application.
cambios que necesita hacer,
that's
pueden
right,
mirar
that's on
con,
there, or sign off on that.
nada más van a mirarla y mañana se pueden ir y ya le firman ahí. ¿Sí?
And then, if you have, and also when you come to make those changes, try to have that letter and
Cuando vengan a hacer esos cambios, de una vez a ver si puede tener el papel que le va a dar el dueño para que puedan verlo.
and then come back next month.
Y el próximo mes.
And that meeting, if you'll please tell Ms. Cruz, is Wednesday, May 14th.
El
6 p.m.
miércoles, mayo 14, a las 6 de la tarde.
Okay.
Sí.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we have old business, consideration of an application to sell beer on premises by Jenny Paguada, Latin Drinks, located at 124 Sunlight Road, Shelbyville, Tennessee, 37160.
I'm gonna ask you to, you're fine, but I'm gonna ask you to
Le van a
swear in.
preguntar a usted para que diga si su nombre.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give before this board will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief, so help you God?
Que lo que estaba a decir va a decir la verdad, sobre todo lo que le vayan a preguntar, que sea honesto.
Yes.
And if you'll state your name for the board, please.
Puede decir su nombre, por favor.
Jamie Paguada.
Perfect. No, we left this off from a few months ago. First off, I'm actually gonna let you start. What progress has been made on the actual
Se le van a
structure?
preguntar a usted. Ahora sí usted tiene que decir qué progreso se hizo desde la última vez que venimos para acá.
Pues se pasó el. Okay,
I understand Spanish. He doesn't.
okay. Se pasó el permiso de Herman Department
We went to the health department in the past and everything.
y se hicieron cambios necesarios.
And they did the
que estaban
changes,
pidiendo.
the ones they were asking about.
Tengo el menú listo también de las bebidas.
And she has the menu of the drinks that she's going to have.
So she has got the health department has signed off on this.
El health department ya le firmó todo. Yes.
Has anybody seen that?
I have not seen
Does
that.
she have that with her?
She had that.
¿Usted lo tiene? Todo el health
Se lo
department.
tiene.
Yo lo tengo. La parte de abajo. Sobre que este es el permiso del bill.
Marces. ¿Cuál vendría así?
El de la salubridad. He sent it to the, when he went in there and he said he was gonna send it to y'all. That's what he said. I was there when he went and inspected.
¿Es esta?
Ese es el, this is building permit. This is building.
Are you talking about building and codes or the health department?
No, health department.
Okay,
Building and codes, they got the building permit on,
okay.
which she has already that. She was requesting that, I believe,
We do.
Ginger.
We do have a building permit,
Okay, so you have that. That's the other thing.
¿Ese ya
only
fue?
in plans. We do have that.
Yeah, you got the plans? Show it to them.
Excuse me.
Be very careful.
Yes.
Yes, please be careful.
Enseñen todo.
Those are the plans. And so really, I think what you're looking just for is this from the department. Has to be built with health department.
Porque eso no se los enseñaron.
Just building.
So Attorney, as far as what's in here,
That looks like that's her business license, yeah.
Which we do have. We
Yeah.
have that.
do you want to see this one? Some medicine they have today.
I want to.
¿Usted lo tiene?
No, sí se los dio. Y sí,
So this is their building, yeah, Brian did let us know that they've got a building permit. I believe the building, I think everything's already been built.
I'm
sorry.
Means even building goes.
Well, it doesn't mean that building and codes has done the inspection on the premises. It means that they've gotten a building permit. They build it, then you normally do inspections. But also what you're asking for, because it is a restaurant, you're looking for the health department inspection, which is a separate issue than building and codes.
on the health department, they inspect she's gonna have a small little trailer that has already been inspected and everything. Instead being on the building where she's supposed to have it, it's gonna be a trailer on the side that has everything that's already passed inspection and everything.
Okay, that's new.
That's new to us.
Well, they're supposed to have.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I spoke with Jeremy Williams, the health inspector, today.
Mhm.
He said the only thing he has permitted out at the flea market is a food truck called El Dorado Mobile Food Truck. Is that what you guys have over there? Is that, because that's, he said that's the only thing that's permitted there.
Mhm.
So if you have some kind of certificate or permit,
He issued one, and I forgot about it, but he did.
because I also spoke with to the ABC board today as well, with the Tennessee Alcohol Beverage Commission, and they don't normally permit food trucks
That's right.
for alcohol, so,
For liquor.
for liquor.
That's not gonna be legal.
Yeah, no, I understand it's not gonna be liquor,
It's a different.
but even, they don't even do it for high gravity beer or anything else like that, so unless you have a catering permit and an actual freestanding brick and mortar building,
Right.
under those special circumstances. But that's what I'm saying, as of, when I spoke to Jeremy today, he said that's the only thing he has permitted at the flea market. So, I don't know.
And even going beyond this is the first that you all have said anything about any type of trailer, or food truck, or
Yeah,
like
because,
that.
yeah,
So that's news to us. So that's a different. And
dice que no le había mencionado lo de la troca, de la trailer, que es nuevo para ellos. O sea, sí, no se les había mencionado, ¿no? Pero el del Health Department dice que para tener un permiso, que no da permiso a las trailers para que tengan permiso de vender licor, bueno, el licor, cerveza. Entonces dice que es
Okay, pero usted.
It's in the health department. So we have to go back to the health department.
Yeah, now, I do want to go back to the actual structure. You didn't really answer that question per se. What all have you actually done? I mean, what is actually there?
Está preguntando que en realidad qué fue lo que se hizo allí, qué es lo que está. Yo le voy a contestar. The only thing that they removed is the three-way sink, which you was requested from the health department. That way they can sell whatever they want to sell from the trailer instead being on the concrete where the building is. And they moved the trailer, that way they can sell whatever they want, whatever they supposed to sell from the trailer and serve it to the bar. And other than that, the enclosure and the door is done
Okay.
and don't have any drainage, don't have any water around it.
Okay, so you have a structure that has been built, but now, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm hearing that we're not serving beer out of the structure that has been built.
Right.
We're getting beer out of a trailer.
Sell it to
Okay,
and into the structure.
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
if I may, that's the first that you all have heard about that. One of the things that you have to do is establish, one, is that legal? Number two, we have a building permit that obviously is based on some kind of plans. I don't know if those plans include a trailer or not. Lisa, have you received anything from building and codes that indicates that they have done their inspections on this, for this building permit?
I haven't received anything from inspections. I received the building, permit, the building permit
They haven't been over there to inspect it.
They've not.
and the, plans. I have the site plans.
So my next question is, have you completed construction based on those plans?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, have you then requested the inspection?
Not yet.
Okay, they won't
Until
do that
today.
until you inspect,
Yes.
until you request it.
Yes.
So, once again, I hate to say this, but it looks premature. Not enough has happened for you to know whether this qualifies under your,
Yeah, that's
restaurant.
I'm looking at the site plan here. It's a little blurry, but I don't see anything about a trailer here. From what I can see.
the construction
To
plans.
see it there. on
Ms.
the-
Gonzalez made the plans and everything.
So is overall floor plan,
But the building and the build permit, what has got to do with the trailer? If the trailer has already the health department permit,
well, here's where they're going at, Mr. Alex. The sale of beer can only occur in certain places. What has been presented to this board up until now is that you were going to construct in that building. You were going to construct everything that you need. And so therefore you were going to go through the codes process, put in your plans, get a building permit, construct it, and be inspected. The other issue is we've got to make certain it passed the health. And what we're looking for is that you meet restaurant standards. That's what we're looking for.
yes, that's why they changed it to, instead of being building it in there because it was too much, just cancel the structure. Just build like the walls around it
Yeah.
and have the trailer instead. That way you don't have to build the drainage and water and all that in there, what you guys were requesting, it was too expensive. So instead being the advisor was just to have the trailer, which you're not gonna wash anything, you're just gonna throw all the beverages and everything on where the cops is gonna be serving and everything. So he said that not request any of the rest of the stuff that we were going to be built.
Who is this person?
I mean, it was a communication between me and the health department.
Okay, so it was his suggestion?
I mean, it was kind of like an advice. I mean, it was kind of like, why don't you move the trailer instead being that on building a lot of trucks.
He told me.
It was like,
It just changes, however, what the
Right,
application
yes,
is. It
yes.
changes that. I'm looking at this A1. Is this what you meant by a trailer, or am I looking? That looks like the overall floor plan.
That's the overall.
Yeah,
This is an old photo.
yeah.
This part's actually Photoshop.
Right.
This is the track. I went to the back.
Oh,
That is directly behind the structure.
right now.
Right now.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Jeremy's looking at the perfect angle. It's like, I don't know if that's.
Okay.
Yeah. Full direction.
Well, this is the first time we've heard about it. I think we have to also hear from the city codes director on the applicability of having the trailer there to do that, or I've not heard on that. And I don't see that the plans, if that's not the trailer.
And I do want to clarify, because last time we met, we were under the impression that under the structure you were building, this stuff was gonna be done.
Right.
And there was gonna be, the sinks and the
Yes.
water and everything.
it was there.
So as of now, you're telling us that is not the plan. We're not doing that. Like, you're,
Right.
just want to make sure we're on, okay.
Yes.
So now we're solely
This is-
selling
this-
beer.
this here,
out
this
of-
is the- this is the-
That's what I thought.
That's it, that's.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
Okay. This is my question, if this won't become, if the application even applicable, when is it even, does it?
I can't answer your question. I would have to talk to my codes director to know what this is.
So,
I need him to opine on is this a qualified restaurant under codes? My concern, what you would have to say is, and be clear, that this permit is only allowed for this physical location. I don't know what this trailer is. I don't know what's going on with the trailer. You certainly cannot take that trailer anywhere else
Yeah.
and do anything with it related to the sale of beer, if this is allowed. Because normally what you're doing is approving a restaurant, and the restaurant has all of its capabilities in the physical location where it is. This seems a temporary thing. And what I heard you talking about, this, I guess the water, I guess it stays in the trailer and then goes off, so the water's not going into the stormwater system on site. Because that was part of it, you have to have a sink to run a restaurant.
To my knowledge, we don't permit food trucks to sell beer in Shelbyville.
No, we do not.
So that's the other thing there.
Did you, Mr. Chairman, did you clarify that this trailer is the trailer that we're talking about, the green, white, and red?
Yeah, I was out there today.
I physically looked at it.
Okay.
That is the trailer that's there.
And it's parked behind the little.
It is directly behind.
Pero al lado de Shelbyville, trae la venta.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that you cannot.
yeah.
We do not permit trailers to go around the city and sell beer. That's why I made the statement that I said. I'm not saying that this could not be viewed as a restaurant. I've never had that conversation with my codes director to hear that from him. Because I thought what was happening was it was being built on site. Permanent structure on site.
Yeah, that's what my impression was, because then who's to say you can't move the trailer and move it down the street?
You could. It definitely is, and that's why I was making the statement. The only thing this application for, and the only thing that you can do in the city of Shelbyville is a permanent location.
It is gonna be permanently
cannot
that, it won't be moved. It's not gonna be moved, it's gonna be steady there.
You can't approve it. You can't approve it at this point.
Shift, and that's what I'm doing. Cause this first, this is, and it's a totally different situation. Again, this is the first time we've heard of the trailer at all. So. Motion to the third,
Motion.
no second. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
It'll at least be next month. We're gonna go back and do some research. This is, because again, this is a brand new set of circumstances.
So what do you need from her to get for the next meeting?
I would suggest that you get your site inspected. It needs to be thoroughly
Okay.
inspected and
That's the
signed
first
off by
one.
the city.
Okay, and then,
Health.
Health
Did
department.
it help?
yeah, the health department, okay, so necesitan el permiso el permiso de la construcción que vaya a ser inspeccionado y lo del health department, what else?
As far as from them, that's all you need from them.
But even then, we have, those you have that. But even if you get those, there's still no guarantee.
Right, yeah.
You know, we have to go.
Somos que ganamos esos dos. Lo de la aprobación del building permit, esa es la aprobación, eso es la número uno. El dos es del health department, que apruebe. Sí, ya fue, pero hay que traer el papel. Y todavía con eso, lo que está diciendo él es de que para el próximo meeting, de todos modos, si lo trae y todo eso, no quiere decir que ya no lo vendan. Que ver qué es lo que va a hacer. ¿Okay?
She can have these, like I have copies of all these.
Just.
What's your question?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next, we have other business, review of show cause order for bar 61. Yeah.
We can go.
If you would like, yeah.
Thank you.
Or you can stay, it's your option, but you can go, yeah.
We'll see you May 14th.
State your name, please.
Christina Campos.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give before this board will be true, to the best of your knowledge and belief, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna turn this over to our city attorney.
Okay, yeah, Ms. Campos, if you just have a seat first.
Okay.
What you all have in front of you tonight is a notice and a show cause order to appear for bar 69, and you see Ms. Campos is here. I'm going to walk you through what you have. This, you voted to issue the show cause order based on, I think, 4 different days, 4 different incidences. I'll go through those tonight. I want to make certain that you have what you think you have in the record. There are police officers here tonight to give testimony about what happened on each incident, but I want to make certain that and we have in the record what you need for you to make a decision tonight, or if you defer it, or dismiss, whatever you decide to do. I'm going to start start on page 2 of your show cause order. With the numbered paragraph. So on January 15th, 2020, Christina Campos was submitted an application to the Shelbyville Beer Board for an on-premise Shelbyville beer permit. That is attached as Exhibit A, so that's a part of your record. You can see the application that she made for this premises. Number 2, on February 19th, 2020, the Beer Board did give her that permit. The minutes from that meeting of the Beer Board on February 19, 2020 are attached to your show cause order and therefore are in your record. And that's actually number C. Item number 3. They did approve that and it's an on-premise application. They issued it. It's Shelbyville Beer Port number 20-05, and that was issued to Ms. Campos for bar 69. And there has not been a change of ownership. To my knowledge, since that time. That stays the same. On October 12th, 2022, upon issuance of a show cause order to Ms. Campos as the beer permit holder, you all did have a show cause hearing on violations alleged in that show cause order. You continued that hearing to the next meeting. The October 12th, 2022 minutes, the minutes of that meeting are also attached to the show cause order and therefore are a record in your, or the minutes are in your record. If you have them. Let me just stop and say, everybody's got this in front of them, do you? Our board members? Okay, just making sure. On November 9th, 2022, the Beer Board resumed the show cause hearing that had begun on October 12th, 2022. At that time, you all made a finding that Bar 69 was guilty of allowing underage drinking. That was the specific violation that you found. Due to the remedial measures that were undertaken by Ms. Campos, you all issued as the appropriate remedy for that violation to suspend the beer permit for 15 days or in the alternative to allow her to pay a $500 fine. The minutes from that meeting that reflect the finding, reflect what the remedy is, all of that is attached to the show cause order and should be in your packet. I'm now coming to the dates that are relevant for this show cause order. So let me just say, what I have just read is a procedural history related to Bar 69. If you want to know the specific allegations, you'll need to go back from previously, you'll need to go back and read those minutes, read that show cause order. That is what's happened previously. This is what I'm about to talk about is what is currently before you. On August 6, 2024, Shelbyville Police Department Officer Austin King issued a beer alcohol sales establishment violation report record involving Bar 69. That is attached as Exhibit F. You should have that in your packet. Officer King is here. We'll call him up in just a minute. Officer King also did submit an incident report, an actual police report that evening involving simple assault, in which the parties that were involved were at Bar 69. That report is also attached to the show cause order as Exhibit G. Those are the two records that we have from an incident on April the 6th, 2024. Let me make sure what I'm saying here. April 6th, 2024. So, Mr. Chairman, if you are okay with that, I'd like to call Officer King up and let him tell you the details of both his police report and the beer incident establishment report, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
Officer King, you'll state your name, please.
Officer Austin Chambers King.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give before this beer board will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief, so help you God?
That's what.
Take off. Well, you get a call.
Just to make sure for my confirmation, this is the incident that occurred on 04/06/2024.
That is correct. Yes.
We were dispatched to a fight call out in the parking lot. Made contact, and forgive me if I mispronounce anyone's name, with Mr. Juan Villarosas and Mr. Mauricio Campos Osorio. Talked to both of them. Mr. Juan stated that after coming into the restaurant, he was told that he had to leave, even though he'd already paid the door fee. He said they didn't give him a reason, there was conflict, and they fought inside the bar. I talked to Mr. Osorio, who works as a doorman, guards the door. He said that they were talking about giving them a refund in the door fee, and they went out in the parking lot, talked about it, and then the fight broke out in the parking lot. Mr. Juan did appear to be fairly intoxicated. I did do the initial report for the assault and turned it over to investigations.
Okay, so they said that they were in the bar.
Mr. Juan said that he was in the bar with two other individuals who he didn't identify, but those two individuals apparently left him there and were gone prior to officers' arrival.
Okay. Did you, you said, Campos, Mauricio Campos Osorio, was the doorman?
I don't know what his official title is. That's usually when I go in, he's carding at the door.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what his official title
Yeah,
is.
he's the one that, when you walk in, he's the one checking your ID.
Okay. So he's actually one of your,
Yes.
one of your, okay. Did you see any other type of security, any other type, or is it just him? I mean, I say security, I don't know if it's title security or what it is, but were there any other individuals?
Not that night. There's usually different, depending on the night, there's a different person working the door, but
Okay.
not that night. I didn't see anybody else there.
Ms. Campos, do you have any other security? Is there any other people hired? What?
There's no security, like, we go out and check the parking lot, but there's nobody directly just in the parking lot, because you have to understand, there's 4 other businesses around us.
Sure.
You have one up here, doing your car, for pay your phone bill. Then you have a restaurant in the front selling tacos, and then you have a food truck that's in the back by the bar selling. So there's 4 different, restaurants all around us. So it's not like we're all just, we're all together. So, but there's nobody out there at all times checking the parking lot. No, there's not.
So on this particular night, was he the only individual?
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason why he was asked to leave was because he was intoxicated, and before, when he was coming inside the bar, and so he was asked to leave because he was intoxicated. So, Mauricio wrote a statement for me and told me that, that he told him, "I'll give you your money back, but we just need you to leave." And that's when he started getting angry and wanted to fight with Mauricio. And that's when it happened, and we had no choice but to call the police, because, I mean, if you're gonna fight my workers, I have to call the police. I mean, there's no choice. You have to call the police.
So, Officer King, could you clarify for us, who was fighting?
There was a physical altercation between Mr. Mauricio and Mr. Juan.
Okay, so the doorman and someone else.
Yes. Yes,
Okay, no one else, those 2 people.
from what I understand.
Okay, and do you know who placed the call?
Let me see if I have it on here. I don't believe off the top of my head. No, ma'am.
But there's other individual involved here, this Lionel Bella, the last ball. What was their role in this? What's reported? Because how involved is some other?
I think that was one of the names he mentioned. We couldn't find any information further on him. I don't have him mentioned. Let's see here. Oh, yes, he came to translate it for his father. I'm sorry. He wasn't involved in the initial incident. That is Mr. Juan's son, and Mr. Juan did not speak English. He showed up after the fact to help translate for his father.
Okay, I see that here, okay.
Do you have any idea, or did anyone say how long they were at the bar?
Both
Individuals that showed up, not the doorman.
Both Mr. Marsucio, I'm sorry, I butchered his name. I will say it correctly. Mr. Mauricio and Mr. Juan, that was the consensus that Mr. Juan wasn't there very long.
Okay.
From what I understand, Mr. Juan is, by the time him and his associates that were with him, he said that were with him, met to the bar, they were asked to leave.
Any other questions?
If y'all have any other questions for Officer King, I'll move on to the next item.
That's good. Thank you.
Thank you, Officer King.
We don't need me for anything else.
I don't know if are you on anything else?
Merely assisted on the previous, but I didn't have active.
I would ask you to wait if at all possible. There may be follow-up questions the board will have for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, So I'm going to move on to item 8 and 9. On April 28, 2024, Shelbyville Police Department Patrolman Alexandria Presley issued a beer alcohol sales establishment violation record report involving Bar 69 that is attached to your packet as Exhibit H. Also on that date, she did submit a police incident report which involved public intoxication and disorderly conduct in which the parties involved were at Bar 69. That is Exhibit I to your show cause order. So those are both in the record for you all to review. Officer Presley, if you're here, if you would come up.
Raise your right hand, state your name, please.
Officer Alexandria Presley.
You swear that the testimony you're about to give before this board will be true to the best of your belief, knowledge. So if you go.
I do.
Thank you for being here. Kind of going to do the same as before. I just let you begin. You receive the call, you show up.
Okay, yeah. So similar to Officer King, we received a call in reference to a fight. The call was placed by an employee on site, Brenda Ortiz.
Okay.
She advised that there was a large group of individuals outside fighting. We get on scene, and she was able to point out 3 males that were involved in the fight that had been inside the bar and had come outside the bar into the parking lot, and a fight broke out. There was a female that was stated to be on scene. We never made contact with her. We have no idea where she came from, where she went, nothing like that. So we were able to identify all 3 males. I'm not even going to attempt to say their names because I just couldn't. They were all extremely intoxicated, could barely stand up, very unsteady on their feet, bloody face, bloody hands, just signs that they had been into a fight. After investigation, we ended up arresting all 3 males and charged them with public intoxication and disorderly conduct due to the disruption of the peace around that area. There's a lot of residential areas back through there as well.
Okay, so they were inside the bar, then proceeded outside.
Correct,
Is
yeah.
what you were told?
Yes, and there was no reasoning behind, like there was no, hey, we hate you or whatever. It just, something started inside and then it came outside of the parking lot and that's where the fight broke out.
Okay. Did you have any contact with any type of security or a doorman or whatever?
No,
So
no, we
none of
didn't.
that, just individuals there.
Yeah, the only employee we spoke with was the Brenda subject that I mentioned.
Okay.
She's the one that placed the call. She's the one that was able to get everybody outside whenever everything started breaking out. But there was no security that we made contact with.
Okay.
We had multiple officers on scene. There was nobody there that said, hey, I'm the door guy, or hey, I'm the security guy.
Ms. Kemp, see if anybody else working besides Miss Ortiz that night?
I'm not sure. That night I was not present that night. But she did write a statement saying that as the statement that she's wrote here to me, for me, was that they were in the parking lot at Hardee's, and when this happened, they were by the bar. And so when she seen them fighting, that's when she called the police. She wrote a statement for me.
So essentially you're saying they were in the parking lot at Hardee's? At
Hardee's is
3:12?
here, and yeah.
At 3, okay.
By that time, it was already closed.
Hold on, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
So they're in the parking lot at Hardee's at
Mhm.
3:12 in the morning,
Mhm.
highly intoxicated, and happen to get in a fight in your parking lot.
Actually, it's not only, that's what I'm saying, there's a food truck there as well.
Is it
So-
serve alcohol?
No, they do not serve alcohol, but they do go buy food there. There's people coming in and out. Not only are they just going to the bar, there's a food truck there and they're in and out right there. There's people not going inside the bar. There's a food truck there and they're selling food there at all times.
Okay. So essentially what I'm hearing you say is, or what I'm hearing is that you're saying they weren't in the bar.
No.
So they
Well,
never.
I wasn't there. I'm just reading what Brenda, the statement. I was not there that night, but she did. This is the statement that she had wrote me, because when I started reading all this, I had all my people write me statements, so I knew, I wanted to hear their side of the story if I wasn't present. And that's what she had wrote on her statement. And she signed it, and that's what she had wrote for me.
But she is who placed the call.
Correct, yes. Brenda Ortiz was identified as the caller.
And someone stated that they were at the bar.
Correct.
Okay.
How do we know that statement was made?
Which statement?
The person who placed the call, do we know that they said they have been in the bar, they've been asked to leave, and they're now in the parking lot?
So when Brenda made the phone call, based off of my understanding through dispatch,
Okay.
She stated that there was men that had been at the bar.
Had been
at the bar, and a fight had ensued, and is now in the parking lot, and they're fighting. Beer bottles were being thrown, punches were being thrown, and whenever we spoke with her, she confirmed that statement.
When did you speak with her?
On scene.
You saw her on scene?
Yes.
Because it does indicate in the report, 3 men on scene were identified by the caller as the ones in the fight.
Correct, yes. Brenda pointed out those are the 3 men that were in the fight. There was a female, but the female left in a van. That's all we had.
Did you speak to her directly about whether or not they'd been in the bar?
I did not. It was my partner who was on scene because I was assisting with the fight.
Okay.
You don't know who's there.
He's saying that he was there and he would like to speak.
We can get to that, I think, in a minute, when you take the officers.
Anything else?
Just a question, are there any surveillance cameras in the area?
Yes.
Okay, I have a question about this statement here. It says, Giovanni was identified by Ms. Ortiz, the person that, the complainant, as the male who initiated the fight. She stated Giovanni was out in the parking lot and began smashing beer bottles. But I think your statement said that she wasn't outside.
No, she said she went outside.
She went outside.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said you guys were closed at this point.
Yes. When we're closing up, yes, sir.
Do you have any other questions for the police officer? Thank you, Officer Presley. Okay, so that is the April 28th, 2024 incident. I'm moving on to the third incident at issue in the show cause order, which happened on December 15th, 2024. On December 15th, 2024, Shelbyville Police Department Officer Jeremiah Gwynn issued a beer alcohol sales establishment violation record report involving Bar 69 that is attached as Exhibit J, so you should have that in front of you. Officer Gwynn also did submit a police department incident report with which involved shots fired at Bar 69. That report is also attached as Exhibit K. So both of those are in your packet. This involves this one incident on December 15th, and Officer Glenn is here. If you would like for him to come forward.
Please state your name, please.
Officer Jeremiah Gwynn.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give before this board will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief? So help you God.
I do.
Thanks. Again, just broken record.
All right.
Take off.
So pretty much we got this was dispatched through 911 stating that there were someone had heard 5 to 6 gunshots around Bar 69. Myself and Lieutenant Dye went over there and Officer Evans. We searched the parking lot. It was kind of empty, had some cars. Lieutenant Dye went to the building to talk to manager, I don't know how to pronounce, Amo Coben, while myself and Officer Evans searched the parking lot. We did find 5 9mm bullet casings in the parking lot. I believe Lieutenant Dye said that the manager stated that she didn't hear any gunshots outside. And then there was, I believe, a couple of people said they heard it, but they weren't sure what it was. But that's pretty much it on that one. But we did find the bullet casings in the parking lot.
But no one was there.
No,
to
sir.
show.
Yes, sir.
Questions?
You indicate here on the beer alcohol sales establishment violation record report, that, which is Exhibit J, that found the 5 9mm bullet casing in the parking lot near the exit.
Yeah.
I assume that's the exit of bar 69.
Yes, ma'am. So I don't know, like, which is their exit, like, so when you're coming out of the bar, it was like sort of right here near a parked car. But yeah, pretty much it's like right there, the exit. It's like the entry and exit way right there, so.
Okay.
I mean, 10 feet?
Probably, give or take, yeah.
10?
Yeah.
15, okay.
And then it says Officer Dye spoke with the manager, I guess, on duty at that night was Alma Coben?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You didn't speak with her, but
I
Officer
did
Dye
not,
did.
no.
Okay.
But she didn't hear anything.
That's what he said, she stated, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Did you all see any security, or was there any security inside the establishment?
No, sir. It was, I believe Lieutenant Dye said it was a female taking IDs and wristbands was sitting at the entrance right there.
Okay, thank you. That's all the questions I have.
Anything else? Calvin, Roy?
Okay, that's
Thank you.
December 15th?
Thank you.
Yeah. And then the last, incident that, was a part of the show cause order was December 28th, 2024. You had Officer Christopher Hannell issued your beer alcohol sales establishment violation record report on that date. That is attached as your Exhibit L in the packet. Officer Hannell also did a police department incident report involving assault in which the parties involved were at bar 69. That is Exhibit M. And then also Officer Nguyen issued a department incident report on the same night involving the same incident. And that is attached to Exhibit N. So you actually, all other, the previous 3 incidents have had 2 records. This one involves 3 records. One is the beer establishment report, and then there are 2 police reports attached to it. And so I think we ought to start with Officer Hannell, and then we can ask Officer Nguyen about what he did.
Okay, please.
Officer Christopher Hannell.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give before this board will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief? So that'll be fine.
Here.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here tonight.
Yes, sir.
Same thing, you get a call.
Yeah, so on December 28th, received a call for service in reference to a fight in the parking lot. When I had arrived, we met with 2 possible offenders who were observed to be intoxicated and being uncooperative. They both stated nothing happened. One of them was observed with a broken necklace. Patrolman Kohler actually received the statement from the victim. He said he was there to get food. 2 individuals started punching him and pulling him out of his vehicle. He said he didn't know the reason for the assault. He just said there was a continuing issue for the past 3 weeks. He did request EMS and was transported to the hospital for his injuries. And then Patrolman Nguyen did take the possible offenders for the assault to jail for public intoxication.
I want to clarify, do you know if the individual, it says that he was at the bar to get food, was he actually in the bar or was he in his vehicle? Do
So
you
he
know?
was in his vehicle in the parking lot.
Okay, see, like,
Trying to get food.
so he just pulled up and
Yes,
happened, okay.
But he indicated he was going to bar 69. Is that what he
All I know, he was there to get food.
didn't indicate
He didn't indicate
necessarily
that
where
he
he was going?
in the bar or not.
Okay.
There's no food sold inside the bar. That's the food truck outside. That's where mostly that's where the problems are occurring, is outside in the parking lot.
And so you handled this gentleman, Officer Nguyen handled the two people who arrested, correct?
So I was there with the two possible offenders for the assault.
Okay.
There was a language barrier, so Patrolman Evans was also there translating.
Okay.
But they were uncooperative, didn't want to talk, so.
Were they in the bar at any time? Do we know?
I'm not sure of that we just observed them to appear intoxicated.
I suppose when you first arrived, where is the location of the man who's been assaulted and the two men who assaulted him?
So the victim was in his vehicle towards the front entrance. The two possible offenders for the assault were in about the middle of the parking lot, trying to get into a vehicle to leave.
Okay, because it says he identified them.
Yes. He had told Patrolman Kohler that they were the offenders.
Okay.
But you don't recall any of the individuals involved? You never heard anyone that was actually had?
I did not receive a statement of them, actually.
Did you all make any contact with anyone in the bar?
I personally did not. I was in the parking lot. I don't have anything in my report saying anyone did, so I'm not sure if anyone went inside the bar.
Do we know who called dispatch?
I do not have a complainant.
I believe the report indicated that a manager or employee contacted, doesn't have a name. So, but you don't know who it is. Okay. And you didn't speak to any employee?
I did not.
Of Bar 69. Okay. Officer, I don't know if Officer Quinn did. We can ask him his.
Yeah.
Officer Glenn, you come back up, please. Still under eye.
Did you speak with anybody?
I did not, no. So me and Officer Evans, we were stopping the two male individuals from getting into the car at the time when we showed up. I believe Officer Handel and Officer Kohler were speaking to the gentleman who was assaulted. And he just kept pointing over there, and I believe there were several other witnesses and people outside too, saying it was those two. We got them, and they did have a broken necklace, scratched, and ripped clothes. Like you said, they were being uncooperative. They didn't want to say anything. They didn't want to talk. They did have odor of alcohol on them. So Officer Handel did the assault report for that gentleman, and then I took the two males to jail for PI. But I'm not sure. I didn't speak to anyone at the bar. Like I said, we were trying to get them two from leaving. I don't know if another officer or someone else had went in and spoke at the time. Like I said, we were just dealing with them two outside. So.
Questions?
Thank you, Officer. If you could just stay. There may be follow-up questions. That is your show cause order that lists the 4 incidents that you received an actual beer establishment report on. You've heard from the police officers. I would ask, Mr. Chairman, that you give Ms. Campos now an opportunity to reply to all that has been said today. And maybe she'll be able to give you some additional information. What she says, you may wind up having additional questions for the police officers, but I would ask that you give her just the floor to be able to reply at this time.
And I would also like for my father-in-law to come up, because he was there of one of the incidents with the Brenda. situation. He was the one there that night, so I would like for him to talk because he knows more about that situation that night.
Okay.
Sure, well, whatever, get to that
Yeah,
one.
yeah, we're gonna start.
Okay.
We're gonna start with the first one.
Okay.
And work.
Okay.
So the first one was April the 6th, 2024. We heard Officer King talk about, apparently that was an actual call in from one of your employees.
Yes, that's the one we're talking about with Brenda.
Mhm. Is there anything else that you want to say in relation to that
No.
incident?
That's one, I was not there, I was not present that night, so I can't speak on something if I'm not present. That's why I was asking if my father-in-law could come up, because he was the one that was
Oh,
present.
it was this very
Yes.
incident.
And you'll have to have a translator, which my son-in-law's here as well.
Que si puedo hablar porque yo estaba ahí todo el tiempo.
I'll have to swear in the translator first. Can you say your name, please?
Adolfo Pascal,
Adolfo, could you spell that, please?
ADOLFO,
And your last name?
PASCUAL.
Do you swear that the testimony that you'll translate for this board will be accurate to the best of your ability and knowledge, so help you God?
That's what.
Thank you. And then your name, sir?
Isidro, CAMPOS Campus, Mendoza.
Okay. Now translate. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give before
Yeah.
this board will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief, so help you God?
Yeah.
Gonna open up the floor essentially the same way. Hear your side.
¿Qué pasó ese día en ese accidente?
¿Cuál de los tres? Porque todos.
Which one is this one?
The one with.
The only one he was present.
Brenda.
De Brenda.
Yes.
Brenda Ortiz. El bar ya estaba cerrado. Llegaron las personas de un pori que estaba en la Guadalupana, que así le llaman.
He said that the bar, when they arrived, the bar was closed and that they came from a party from, I don't know the name of it, but the butterfly one over here by the square,
The Fly Building.
the fly building.
Ajá, llegó el matrimonio, ¿verdad? Y se juntaron con los del Gallito, que le llaman Taquería Gallito, y se empezaron a pelear en el Harris. Y la señora cayó al diche.
He said that they were first eating at the restaurant Gallito, then they met up at the bar outside in the parking lot, and that's when it all started, and that a lady fell in a ditch.
Ajá, y la Brenda al mirar eso llamó a la policía porque la señora y la novia estaban peleando con los muchachos.
And he's,
Yeah, this doesn't sound
Oh, yeah,
like April.
it's the other one.
Yes,
Sorry.
I'm sorry. April
Sorry.
6th is the one we're asking about. That sounds
Sorry.
like something different.
Y cuando ellos llegaron,
it's different.
okay,
I think we got the wrong one.
I'm sorry, sorry.
It's okay.
dice,
Yeah, that
Fidencio,
one, I mean, I can't
It's,
say anything about, because I was there.
He was there, the other three accidents.
Okay, this one, April the 6th, okay. This is the one where your doorman got in a fight.
Oh, yeah, that's the one he's talking about. Sorry, I'm sorry, I was confused, sorry.
One, these are three people. Juan, Mercado, y another guy, the three people, coming drones. Ellos tomaron en su casa y venían a pelear con alguien al que encontraran. Ellos salieron de su casa y querían pelear con alguien y se toparon con Mauricio en la puerta del bar.
He said that the three guys, Juan and the other two guys, that they were drinking at their house, and that they came to the bar, and when they wasn't able to come in, they were just trying to pick a fight, and Mauricio was just there at the door when it happened.
Le dijo que no
Said-
podían.
Okay, said that, he said they couldn't come in, but they both stated that they actually paid and got in. They
Cuando
were actually-
ellos entraron adentro.
No, a la puerta del bar
Ajá.
y le dijimos que los íbamos a dejar entrar, pero como yo vi que estaban tomados, les dije que no. Y le regresamos su dinero, que se fueran para afuera y se enojaron.
He said that they did pay to come in, but when he got to the door, he realized that they were too intoxicated. That's why he tried to give the refund back, or he did give the refund back, and then that's when the fight.
You're saying this gentleman right here told
Yes.
them they, okay.
So he's actually the one that.
No, he's not Mauricio.
No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But he's the one that actually asked the individuals to leave.
Yes. Well,
And then-
he told Mauricio
Okay.
to give the refund back.
He made the
They were-
call.
Yes.
Got it.
Salieron al parqueadero, sacaron los cinturones y se le fueron encima a Mauricio y a otro, un americano que se llama Miguel.
He said that when they went outside, they took out their belts off, and that they jumped Mauricio, and then there was another individual out there with Mauricio, white guy, and apparently he got into it too.
Y tuvimos que llamar a la policía porque.
And then that's when they called the cops to break up the fight.
Pero la pelea fue por el bote de basura acá acerca del dumpster, del de basura, el bote.
El pelea pasó en el lado del.
Pues damos la dirección del bar porque el bar está enfrente, pero fue acá cerca de la basura. Acá.
He said the fight broke out near the trash. I assume the dumpster.
Would you ask Mr. Campos? So there was some other guy in the parking lot that jumped in on the fight as well?
El americano, él estaba con Mauricio, o ella? He was with Mauricio.
And he was helping Mauricio, or did
Él
he jump
estaba ayudando
Mauricio?
con Mauricio,
Lo
o
fue a separar, a ayudarlo.
he went to go help Mauricio, like separate.
Okay.
Anything else?
Okay.
Thank you.
So that's the April 6th. On April 28th, this was, which Officer Presley talked about, Ms. Campos, and this is the incident involving public intoxication and disorderly conduct. Anything else that you would like to add and to the board or tell the board about that particular incident?
No.
Is this the one you said you had a statement on?
From Brenda. I have statements from, everyone, like I said, I had everyone, when whoever would call the police and whoever was present, I had asked them to write me statements so I could show y'all if they couldn't be present here with me.
Did they sign those statements?
Yes, they sure did.
Do you want those to be actually put into the record with copies?
Yes.
Okay, then we need to put that in. On April 6th, if you would, let's get that one first, so, because we're about to move on from April.
You want me to go make copies?
If you don't mind, that would be great if we could get copies of all those statements.
Hang on a second. Okay. Get my card again.
Let's do that and let you all see the April 6th statement to see if that brings up any questions. I don't think it will, but just be on the safe side.
All right.
We just.
And on April 6th, you're talking about the one with, Mauricio, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Myself, state, I think.
Okay.
I hope.
Keep your copies and keep these details for the record.
Okay, yes, ma'am, thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
And he's got 4/29, so the date is wrong, we might need to fix that to 4/6.
So Mr. Mauricio.
Campos is the very top, is the very front page, he's got 4/29 instead of 4/6.
Okay, he didn't sign this report.
Oh, okay.
And so this is the incident. Lisa, you may want to ask her to change that incident date to 4/6 and sign it.
Statement says that he was out there swinging for 5 minutes, that's impressive.
Mr. Chairman, if the board doesn't have any questions based on the statement, we just move on.
Anything?
No questions.
Okay, so the April 28th incident, Ms. Campos, this is the one that we were just talking about, before we got the copies. And that is involving public intoxication and disorderly conduct that Officer Presley testified to earlier. So you have what looks like a handwritten by Brenda Ortiz. Is this the incident?
Yes.
That you're referring to?
Yeah, and I was not present that night.
Okay, it doesn't have a date on this. It just says, when Brenda Cortez Ortiz called the police over an argument outside Hardy's parking lot. I was just trying to avoid a larger argument by calling the police, but I gave Bar 69 Sports address just because it went from Hardy's parking lot to the next parking lot. Bar 69 Sport was closed when the argument started. That's her statement. Do you have any other further on that incident?
No, because I wasn't there, but, he said he was present and he knows, but I'm not really sure. Like I said, I was not present that night.
Would you like him to testify on your
Yes,
behalf?
if he would like to speak about, yes.
Okay.
Does he know anything about the Brenda stuff? Yes. He does,
This occurred on April 28th, 2024.
Okay. Ese, el que yo apenas hablamos.
Sí, y en ese también tenía, uno de ellos era ese que tienen ahí que se llama Giovanni Gómez, estaba en ese problema.
He said, one of the guys that always cause problems in the other reports as well, his name is Giovanni Gomez. Was part of that fight as well.
ellos fueron los que el problema es que ellos entre ellos se agredieron y se metió un hijo de la mamá de la novia que venían de la otra fiesta. Y se pelearon entre ellos, no con gente del bar, sino los de la boda con los del restaurante aquel afuera, porque nosotros ya habíamos cerrado, tenían unos 25 minutos.
You said the fight occurred outside of parties, but it moved to the bar. But the guys came from El Gallo, another restaurant, and then some came from the party at the Fly. And then they just met up outside there and
Did they ever come into the bar
entraron en la.
at this time?
No,
No,
no, ya estaba cerrado.
it was already closed.
Do y'all have any further questions for Ms. Campos or her witness? Okay. So the next incident was December 15th, and this is the one that Officer Lynn testified to, December 15th, 2024. This is the shots fired incident. Ms. Campos, anything you wish to add to that?
I asked Adna about the situation. She said she didn't hear any gunshots. Like I said, there's businesses all around us. There's a house in the front. We can't just say, hey, this happened at bar 69 just because it was in the parking lot. There's a restaurant here. There's a food, like I said, there's a food truck. Everything just ain't not going to happen at bar 6. I'm not saying that it couldn't have happened at bar 69, but I'm saying that, yeah, we can't just put every blame on bar 69 when there's 3 other businesses around us, and plus a house that sits here as well.
And so I'm reading almost
And then
a
also-
statement as well. She dated it 4/9/25. She doesn't indicate the date this happened, but she sort of talks about her own diligence. She doesn't really speak specifically to that night at all, but she's just really sort of making a general statement about procedure. I don't see anything that she talks about what happened on December 15th, 2024. And she might not have even been aware of it at the time it was taking place. What I think we heard is that
Yeah, they just went in and asked her if she heard anything, and she said no. And there was cars in the parking lot.
Is there anything else you want to add? Do you want your witness to testify on anything? Okay.
Because really and truthfully, it's saying, basically, there's no further information at this time. So, how can we just basically put this just on the bar if there's other businesses around us?
And the one thing she does say, in 2024, there were 2 food trucks parked outside of the bar and we shared a parking lot. This was December 15th, 2024. So is that something that you can confirm and verify that on that date?
Yes, there's 2.
There were 2,
but there was 2 food trucks now, but there's only 1 food truck present at this time.
But at the time, December 15th, there were 2
was
food trucks
yes.
in your parking lot.
Yes.
Not Hardee's, the
Yes.
parking lot
Yes.
behind your
Behind,
building.
yes.
You know if those food trucks serve beer or any other?
No beer, just food.
They better not be.
You know, beer permits given and all.
I know.
It has to be
I'm
one of
concerned
those.
they don't have a beer permit if they are. Okay. So Ms. Campos, nothing else on
No.
December 15th?
Okay.
And so the last one is December 28th, 2024. Both Officer Hannell, Officer Nguyen spoke to that when you have public intoxication involved with that incident.
Once again, in a parking lot where there's other restaurants, it was called, but like I said, it happened in the parking lot, in the front part, not in the back part. If he said in the middle and in the front, I'm in the back. So how can we put this on bar 69 if you're in the middle and in the front? How can you blame bar 69 for this fight?
Okay, so you're saying this actually wasn't the parking lot right where your entrance and exit is?
Yes.
Okay, and I see that,
And he was,
we
and
have
one
a
of them,
statement here.
yeah, that's, which one is? That's him right there. He's the one that called the police for this incident. He is the one that
On
called the
December
police.
28th,
Yes.
okay. Mr. Campos called,
Yes, he's the one that called the police that night.
he
That day.
actually called the police
Yes,
that
he has.
night because Mr. Rodriguez, who was eating tacos in the parking lot, was being assaulted. He never got out of his vehicle, being due to be incapacitated to walk. While he was in the parking lot, 4 individuals started assaulting him, and I had no other option than to call the authorities for them to handle the situation. And in his statement, he says that Mr. Rodriguez never entered bar 69.
He was, and he even, the police officer also stated he was still in his vehicle.
They
So-
testified to that, yeah. Okay. I think the board may want to make certain we know the location of where this occurred. I don't think I picked up on that.
I think that was,
Ms. Campos, those will be admitted into the record.
Yes, ma'am.
They'll be officially part of those 4 statements
Okay.
that you've given.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Ginger,
Yes.
the incident of 12/28,
Yeah.
24, Officer Hannell stated that the victim was toward the front entrance and the 2 offenders were in the middle of the parking lot.
I guess I'm imagining one parking lot. Is there more than one parking lot?
So it's
2 parking lots?
a big
3?
parking lot in the back, and
Okay.
then you have a side parking, yeah, see, like, there, the parking lot in the back is ours.
Can I stop right just for a minute? For the record,
Mm-hmm.
the city's IT director has pulled up, is this a Google map? Kate, if you can indicate to me exactly what you're seeing.
It is, we watched the photo on Google. Todo está atrás.
It's a Google map of the premises. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Kate.
I like this new tech.
Okay. I know, pull that back up.
Okay, it'll take him a minute.
It will, sorry.
A 10-second lag, there you go.
Sorry.
Okay.
So Ms. Campos, go, I'm sorry.
You want me to
I
get-
think if you don't mind, I'm sorry, we should have our,
So you want me to go this one?
Yes.
if you don't mind, show what you're doing. Oh, there, is that the pointer?
There you go, man.
Oh, I think I pointed.
There's a pointer.
Okay, so this
Yes.
is where they're gonna park for the bar.
Okay.
This is for the restaurant.
That's a driveway?
And yeah, that's like a go-through, like
A driveway and a parking, people, it looks like they're parking.
Yeah, that's a parking spot as well.
Okay, diagonally they pull in.
Okay,
Okay.
here's another parking spot for another business here.
Okay.
And then this is the in and
Driveway.
out,
Yeah.
in and out. Or you can go this way, in and out, but I wouldn't because there's a big old ditch right here that you're gonna drag around. But this is where you park. And this is for all the other businesses.
Is that where the food trucks, the two, those? So
Right here is
set
where
up
the
right
food
there?
truck, right there.
Okay.
That's the one right now as we speak.
Okay.
Where was the other one located in December of 20?
Right here, right here.
Okay. All right. So show us your establishment and the entranceway and the exit way.
Okay, so this is where we are right here.
Okay.
You can enter here, or you can enter here.
Okay, that's by car. Where's your doorways?
Doorway right here.
Is it 1 door or 2 doors in and out of your business?
1 door.
Okay.
Right here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a patio, but when when you're entering, it's a patio over here on the side, so if you want to smoke or whatever outside, you can be outside right here.
In the businesses that share your building, I
Mhm.
see a jewelry store, if I'm translating that right. I see an Herbalife or a
Yeah.
cell phone
So,
store.
The jewelry store's here,
Now,
and then the phone place is here.
how late are those other businesses usually open until?
No.
You don't know? I mean, we could probably click on them
Yeah, I'm
at
not going.
Google and see.
He's showing you.
Okay.
trying to show you where that is.
Okay, so this is the entrance to the other businesses right here.
There's no entrance for your business at that front.
No,
Okay. You have to enter into the back.
right here.
Okay, got it. That's good. Okay.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You just set it up on the
Oh, okay.
podium when you're done.
Okay, so what you were attempting to say is that you thought this incident occurred exactly where? Not in the back parking lot, but somewhere else?
In the middle.
It occurred right here.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, we'll need to verify that with our police officers. But that's where you understood the incident
Yes.
took place.
And if I'm wrong, he can correct me, but I believe that's what it was.
Okay, that's what you were saying.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Campos can probably testify
Yes.
more on that?
Yes.
Okay, won't we let him do that?
Let me ask a question.
Go ahead.
That food truck that's right outside your door, how late are they open?
They're open depending, sometimes they stay open till 2 or 3 or when, basically they stay open as late as we stay open because people want tacos and stuff, and sometimes they stay open a little bit later.
Okay.
Okay, you go ahead, Mr. Campos.
Oh, yeah. Can you tell him to show where, yeah, he understands.
Hey, can you put it back up?
¿Quieren que enseñes a dónde pasó el que le diga ese día? No,
¿De la bola?
no, cuando el hombre no salió del carro cuando nomás fue a comprar comida.
Aquí, él llegó y se parqueó aquí. La comida está aquí.
¿De dónde pasó el accidente?
Aquí está la comida y él se parqueó aquí.
He said where he's pointing at right now is where he parked at, and then the taco truck where he ate at, enseña a dónde compró el taco.
Aquí.
And that's where the taco truck was at when
Aquí
he.
está la trailer.
So in other words, the victim of the assault was parked very close to the taco truck.
Nunca se bajó de la camioneta porque estaba inválido.
He said, but he never got out of the car because he was invalid.
Yeah. These are 4 people. We went and take it out the truck. Dice que él tenía una cirugía fresca y
How did you know where all
tocaran.
these people come from?
Le dije que no lo tocaran. Los mismos que se pelearon ese día acá cuando estaba, que llamó Brenda Ortiz, eran los mismos que iban por el
Yeah,
problema del señor.
that's good. How do you know where these people come from?
¿Cómo sabes,
Like does he
¿cómo
say
sabes a
they're
dónde
from
llegan
all
las
these
personas?
parties?
Porque los conozco.
He said he knows them, he talks to them.
Ajá.
But that don't mean, I know him, but I don't know where
You don't know where I was
where
today?
he was. Yeah,
Right.
so
Dice, pero él conoce a él y él habla con él, pero ¿cómo sabes a
Porque
dónde?
yo estaba afuera y sé cuando él viene, me dice de dónde viene, pero yo nomás lo conozco así de vista porque él conocía a mi hijo, pero nunca que nos fuera a causar tanto problema.
He said normally he's just outside and then he just starts small talks and then that's how he finds out where they come from or before the accidents.
Before the fights, right?
Yeah.
But that one guy didn't get out of the car.
Y siempre que viene trae 3 y ya le dije que se retirara.
Y el hombre que está en el carro, tú puedes decir algo, tú eres bien conocido con él.
Sí.
He said the guy that was in the car, he said they're really close. So that's how he found out everything about
it
it.
still has nothing to do with how he knows where they come from.
Estaba y ¿cómo?
But okay.
Pero eso no significa nada como el
Porque ellos cada vez que ven que llegan en la noche, llegaban antes en la noche, cuando cerraban allá se venían para acá. Pero esta vez que llegaron, ellos, él, Giovanni y Paulino Jiménez tomaban en su casa y se venían a buscar a ese señor al bar.
He said that they have something going against the guy that was in the car. So normally they just come to the bar and just try to look and fight. They could fight and he was just there and I guess they already had problems with him.
Sí.
Would you ask Mr. Campos, did he speak to the men who did the assault? Did he speak to them anytime that night prior to the assault taking place?
Yes, because he seen that they were waiting for, or en ese día cuando pasó en ese accidente, ¿cómo viste que ellos querían pelear con el hombre en el carro?
Porque le dijeron que se saliera a pelear. Le dijeron, vente. Y le dije, no lo toquen porque está incapacitado. Y él les dijo que lo acababan de operar. Se le fueron Paulino y Giovanni, se le fueron encima y le pegaron. A Giovanni no lo agarró la policía porque salió corriendo. Agarraron al hermano de Paulino.
He said that he was outside when the two guys were coming to get the guy out of the car, but he said to leave the guy in the car alone because he just got out of surgery. And then, ¿y qué pasó después de eso cuando dijiste ahí que...
Que se calmaran porque si le pegaban yo iba a llamar a la policía. Le pegaron. Le pegaron arriba y yo le tomé la placa a la otra camioneta y llamé al policía para que no se fuera.
And he said that he told the guys before the fight broke out, he said, don't hit him before he calls the cops. And then when they did hit him, he took pictures of the license plate from the guys that hit him.
Okay.
¿Qué podía hacer? Tenía que llamar.
Calvin, any other questions?
Yeah, no question.
Okay. Ms. Campos, is there anything else that you want to add to this last incident or any of the incidents? Okay. I think we might need to make sure that we clarify what the police officers, where the car was in their arrest on this December 28th issue. Is that?
Officer Gwen
Gwen?
said he can tell us.
Okay.
You come up, Officer Gwen. Can you show
can get
where
the
the car was with the victim in it?
Yeah, also, I'd like to, I think it was you who asked where for the bullet casings or something too. I'll show you where those are
Okay,
at,
great.
too.
Yes, please.
So, bullet casings, they were right here. There was a car that had taken off that way, when we got there, but we found the bullet casings right here. And then that's where those were located at.
Is that right behind a food truck?
There was we didn't see no taco truck there. Now, there is one there now, but at that time, there was no.
And so we're talking, this is the April, is that correct?
15.
No.
Shots fired was December 15th.
Excuse me, December 15th, 2024.
And
Shots fired.
Yes, and that time was 2:00 in the morning.
Okay, so on December 15th, 2024, shots.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that incident you're showing us on this Google map right now, you're sort of located behind what is on this map has been identified as a food truck.
Are you saying that's the food truck?
Ms. Campos just testified that that is some type of a food truck.
Yes.
So I know when we go to do bar checks on the weekends, we've never had a food truck right here. It's usually there, like I said, there is one now. It's parked over in this direction.
Okay.
It's a giant red food truck.
Okay. And Cade may be pulling up to tell us
that's
the
the
date. Yeah, I don't know the date of the map in front of us. Cade, if there's any way you can text that to Lisa?
May 2023.
They've got it up there at the top. What is it, officer?
May 2023.
May 2023.
Okay, thank you.
Like I said, there is one there now. It's a red one, but I've never seen it open when we do our bar checks. No one's ever been over there.
When do you normally do your bar checks?
We usually do them around 10:30, between 10:30 and 12 is when we can get to them.
10:30 and midnight.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I have a question for you, Officer Gray. Around 10:30, are any of those other businesses in that parking lot or adjacent open during the time you do your checks?
No, sir. There's no other. I know there's a store here. I actually spoke to I believe the owner of the restaurant here, that it's not open. And then whatever this one is, none of these businesses are open. Gas stations usually open. They close at a certain time. Parties is closed, but all these other ones are closed as well.
Okay, besides the gas station and Bar 69, can you tell me if there's any other immediate businesses right there that will serve beer or have beer to your knowledge or where beer could be purchased besides the gas station and bar 69 in that immediate area?
No, sir, I don't believe there is. It's just bar 69 right there. And then I do know there is a taco truck that sits right here. That is true. There is a taco truck that is there, and then they have like a little, like overhang where they can sit and eat the tacos and stuff. So.
And was that there on, let's talk about the incident with the bullets that you've been saying. Was that truck there then?
Yes, ma'am. They're always there. I haven't seen them not there.
To the side, they're there.
Yes, ma'am.
And they were there.
Yes, ma'am.
And are
But
they,
the one that's shown on this map was not there the night.
I do not believe so. No.
Okay.
and the one on the side, it's open or
Yes,
it's open?
It is.
When you guys go in your checks?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's always open.
Oh, it's always open. Okay.
And then the assault and then the arrest. So like I said, the taco truck's right here. The guy's truck was kind of parked sideways right here.
Mhm.
And then the two offenders I took to jail, they were parked here. And like I said, the truck was here, taco truck was here. So it was still in this parking lot right here.
I think that's kind of in general what Mr. Campos
Yeah.
had said. Okay. Okay. Sort of in the back parking lot, but right where that side driveway comes.
No, I don't believe him. Do you? It wasn't in this parking lot, was it? It was more in this area? Yeah, so it was more in this general area than it was on that side driveway.
Okay. But right kind of where that driveway ends. I'm looking, and that's a
Sorta,
large
yeah,
back parking lot. It's
Yeah,
right
sorta.
there.
So like I said, his truck was parked right here. It's kind of sideways at the time.
Okay. In
And
the back
then
parking
the
lot.
two offenders that were assaulted him were like back here trying to leave.
Leave. Okay. Questions, y'all?
Not on that, I have some general questions, but we'll get to that. We're ready to get to that.
Thank you, Officer. Ms. Campos, you have anything else that you want to add after that? Okay. I'll just open it up to the board to ask questions as they see fit.
Okay, so Ms. Campos, do you ever ban people from your establishment for known troublemakers or anything like that?
Yes.
You do, and you keep like a list of them?
Yes.
Okay. Does your staff ever let people walk out with beer bottles, or does the doorman stop them?
No, you're not allowed to walk out without a beer bottle, so.
Okay, the other thing is, on November 9th, you came in, your husband testified, Pedro Campos testified, this is on the November 9th minutes, after that first. 2022, November 9th, 2022. We testified that you guys were making some changes, you had changed the age limit to not allow anyone under 21. Previously, you were allowing 18-year-olds with armbands. Are you still only allowing 21 and up?
21 and up, you're not allowed, if you're not 21 or if you don't have an ID, you're not allowed to be in. Whenever you walk in, we check your ID. Even when we serve you beer again, your ID is to be checked again. You walk in, you can't just walk in and say, okay, I'm 21. No, you have to show your ID. When you have a beer, you have to show your ID again.
Because it says here also, no minutes without ID. You also testify that extra security has been added with parking lot checks where people hanging out in the parking lot are being asked to move along. What I'm hearing on the testimony tonight, there's only been like one person inside checking IDs. I haven't really heard any testimony about, I want to make sure I'm right here, about any people outside or any extra security. One door person is not extra security.
It's one incident.
What's that?
In one incident, we heard about a doorman, one
incident.
In any incident at all.
One incident there. So that concerns me here. There's a lot of safety issues going on, and I know you were talking about, well, it can't all be all on bar 69 because there's other businesses and establishments. But I'm looking at the times of these incident reports. And I have a 1:52 a.m., a 3:12 a.m., a 1:53 a.m.
3:12 we're closed.
Yeah, 3:12 are closed, but that was the one incident. I know you're closing up shop, and then 21:54 when all the other businesses around are closed. And we have a lot of intoxication, and that very concerns me safety-wise, especially shots
Well,
fired in the parking lot.
I can't help, we can't help who's coming in the parking lot to go buy tacos at the food truck. I can't stop that business I can't say, oh, we have to stop selling tacos right here. That's between the owner and that taco truck. I can't stop that. I can't say that people are not drinking at home and want tacos and coming, I mean, that, I can't stop that. That's not my business to stop. I don't own, I do my business. I can't stop what's going on at the taco truck. I can't say that they're not coming from your home, their home, another restaurant, another party, and they're wanting tacos because they know those people. I can't stop that. So you're right about the extra security in the parking lot. I do understand that. I totally agree with you on that. But I can't stop what's going on in the parking lot with this food truck if I'm not, I'm not the owner of that food truck.
Let me ask you, did you ever add extra security and then maybe take them away at this point?
Well,
Just trying to.
so we did have extra security, but it died down a little bit. It wasn't as busy. So, we did slack on that. I will admit, like, we are not going out all the time and checking the parking lot. I mean, I do get that, yes. So I mean, I do understand about extra security in the parking lot. I do agree with that situation.
It's just concerning here because, and we're not saying it's not a good idea to call the police. We want you to call the police business.
I mean, because, basically it's like, at this point, it's an iffy situation. If y'all want me to call the police because this is going on, but it's like, if I call the police, y'all are pounding this on me, so what are you to do?
Well, that's why we review and we discuss and everything.
I mean, because it's like, I'm trying to do what's right, doing the safe way, and it's like, if I do it the safe way, there's reports made, and then boom, here y'all are pounding me like, well, what's going on? But I mean, am I supposed to make a report or am I not? I'm just.
Well, Ms. Kemp, if you mind me adding, thank you for pointing that out. And that is one of the things that the board has to do tonight, is a part of their fact finding. They received a report from the police, they are required to make that report. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that the police are saying anything has to occur, but it becomes a responsibility of the beer board to examine at that point. And one of the things I think that they have to do on all 4 incidents tonight is determine, is there any proof shown that what happened, those individuals involved had been in your establishment and had been drinking.
Yes, ma'am.
That's one of the things they have to do tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think that's one of what you're pointing out, is whether the proof shows that occurred.
Yes, ma'am.
That's your overall, I think, argument back, is that, and the December 28th issue, I think, that we're talking about right now, it looks like the testimony shows it doesn't look like those people were there. We don't know.
Yes.
That's why we do this show call.
Yes.
We want to be able to talk to you and hear your
Yes.
side, and hear what's going on there.
Yes, sir.
And see how we can support you and you support us. We don't want you to stop calling the police.
Yes.
We don't want that. So that's why we have this, and we have the officers come in, and the Alpha Patrol to come in and discuss, and we can testify and hear both sides and kind of make a decision go. So.
I mean, because the police come in every weekend. They're in there. Like, I'm telling you, they're in there. They're coming in. Like, they're walking in and they're looking around at everything. The police are always like coming in to check us all the time.
I don't think we did forget that.
And I mean, I don't mind. They could come anytime they like. That doesn't bother me.
Don't think we don't forget that you did do a good service to the police and helped out in another investigation and stuff like that. So that we want to partner with our businesses. We're not here to hound anybody, but we have to get all the information from all sides.
Yes, sir.
So please don't feel like we're hounding you.
Okay.
I don't want you to feel that way. So we'll continue on here. That's all I had as far as my questions go.
Are there no loitering signs in the parking lot?
There's what?
No loitering?
No.
There's not. So there's signs in the parking lot that say that.
What do you mean?
A sign that says, get home, get out of my parking lot.
No.
There's no other signs there.
Loitering.
Loitering.
Oh, I was like, I couldn't understand what he was saying.
No loitering.
No.
There are not signs there.
And you don't own that parking lot.
No.
And so you have nothing, as you've testified to tonight, you don't have anything to do with the taco, of a truck. I don't know if it's taco.
Yeah, they sell tacos.
Food truck.
I have nothing to do with that. That's the owner of the business, and she allows them to sit up there.
And you're saying the food truck itself is always open?
Yeah. Well, it mainly on the weekends when the bar, Because that's when they're gonna make their money, is when
But
the,
it's always open every weekend.
yes, yes.
Quick question really for any three of you per se. Is it open whenever you're responding late? Like, is it actively? Yeah. And I'm talking general, not any one.
So for the bar checks, the vertical alleyway y'all saw there on that image, the food truck that is up there by the door is pretty much, we do most of our bar checks on the weekend. That one is always open, typically till all the way about 2 o'clock in the morning, would you say? They're still there selling tacos. The one there on the southern part next to the patio has changed. I believe back before December, it was a smoothie place. There was a gap in that period where there wasn't one there, and I think since now it's swapped to another food truck. That one, the one that's usually parked there south of the patio, they'll typically clear out a little bit earlier. Their business dies down, what, about midnight?
Where we usually work.
Yeah, I'm about to say, so, I mean, that one typically clears out pretty early compared to the other.
I do have one question that they're bringing to my attention. What can we do to prevent other people coming from other parties or other things and causing these arguments? Like, is there something that I could do to fix that issue? That's because they're like, well, what can we do? What can we do to prevent that?
Ms. Campos, having listened to what everybody has said tonight and looking at this map and hearing particularly about the truck, the food truck, it doesn't sound like you have any control over those food trucks. Those trucks may or may not be adding to your problem, or they may be exacerbating the problem. As I've already said, the police have no choice. If they're called to an area and it looks like something is occurring, when your employees call, what it is or what it isn't, whether you think it's fair or not fair, they have to write that report that comes to the beer board. The beer board has to look at it. There's clearly problems going on in this area. They're trying to get to the bottom of it. Who's causing the problem?
Yes.
Why is the problem there? Is it there are people that are coming to your bar? Is it people coming to the taco truck? Is it both? That's what this is all about tonight. You, of course, can only control the entrance into your bar and what happens inside your bar. Now, I don't know who has overall control or maintenance of that parking lot, but that's becoming a very interesting question for me, is about who controls that parking lot.
Okay.
Because I doubt that whoever owns the taco truck would appreciate it if you walked out and said, everybody's got to leave. If there are people standing in line waiting to get food at the taco truck. So that may be a relevant question. I don't know. I know what this board is worried about is safety.
Yes, ma'am.
And so normally if you've got people loitering outside your doorway, they're not going to want that. You've got to make that determination about how far you think you've got authority to tell people they need to move on. Of course, once again, our main concern is who are you letting in and how are you serving them? And if those people adding to the problem.
Here's the property detail coming up.
I think that's a question that we need to look at a little bit later.
Yeah, we could look at that a little bit later.
We'll need to look at that later.
I did have another question for you, Officer King, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
On your checks, your bar checks, has Bar 69 been very cooperative when you all come in?
Yes.
Notice anything wild, crazy, everything been okay? They've been nice, polite?
Inside the establishment?
Inside the
No, sir.
establishment. Okay, nice. They've been good, okay. Any of you officers had any incidents when you went in and done your bar checks? They've been very cooperative? Okay. That's all I can think of.
Sorry. What time do you close on weekends?
Yeah, everything has to be shut down by.
I understand.
Yeah.
So 3 o'clock,
Yeah.
you're right on
Yes.
the dot, 3 o'clock. Okay.
I would ask my landlord to put more lighting back there,
Okay.
a whole lot more lighting. Even if he can't, if there should be some way you can attach some crazy bright spotlights right at your door. But definitely lighting, signs, and I mean, from broken glass and all that, obviously people are bringing beer there because you don't like bottles come out of the store. So, I mean, I would, every 15 minutes, have somebody walk the whole parking lot.
Okay.
And then ask your business partners, the taco people and things to do the same thing. Let them have some responsibility of it as well.
Maybe some surveillance cameras.
Yeah.
That would help. That way we have video. People are pulling up and then they start acting crazy. They can see that and we say, oh.
So you say
Are there
you have them?
cameras? Yeah,
You
there's
say
cameras.
you have them?
Yes, there's cameras.
In the parking lot.
Is anything on any of these? Did it capture, do you have video of all this?
Mauricio said the one with this one that the video that it didn't, but I have not went back and looked, to be honest with you. I have not went back and looked. I have not.
So when these incidents happen, you have video, but you don't actually go back and look?
Well, when all this, when I got this, I just barely got this
Well, but
a week ago.
in general, act like this isn't here. In general, if your owner or your manager or whoever it is.
So the
tells you
main
that
one is
copper
like
calls,
right,
You had an accident.
right when
you
you're
don't go back
entering
and look at anything?
right when you're entering the bar, that's where all the main cameras are, is right where you're entering the bar at. So yes, I agree that there should be more cameras in the parking lot.
But the ones that you do have.
Yeah.
You don't have any.
They can't get all the way back here in the very back, no, sir.
And, you may lose some business, you may gain some business, but you don't have to stay on until 3. Shutting down an hour earlier. It's a problem that you need to address somehow, so I'm just giving you some suggestions that pop out of my head.
Nothing else? It's clear to me. So,
I think you all need to address each incident and discuss each incident, whether you think that there is a violation there. And as I said before, you all need to be looking to see if there's proof that shows that someone was there in the bar that evening. That was involved in the incident.
sounds good. It's at 8 o'clock. And I would like to defer this and continue this next month. And come back and make decisions then.
I concur, so I'll put so move.
Do I have a second? All in favor? Perfect.
Okay. Ms. Kempa, they have decided to continue your hearing until the next meeting, which is May 14th at 6. Of course, we've got a couple other things that'll be heard before that. They'll be considering what they've heard tonight. I would say as a general matter, if you have any other evidence that you would like to present on your behalf, you would be able to do so at the beginning of that meeting, okay?
Okay.
All right, next reports from staff. Or, much to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
And Ms. Campos, I would